Hello guys and welcome again to the channel. On today's video is a list of free plugins that I still find useful in my mixing production. Obviously, when I say the ones that I find useful, it's not necessarily the only ones that I use, but the ones that I use frequently, or should I say more often. So my community asked what video tutorial would you like to see next on the channel, and this one came out on top. So this is it, guys. And this list will be in no particular order. So the first one being this Transient shaper by Kilohearts. This plugin is really nice. I love it. Even though I have some paid Transient shaper plugins, but I always reach out for this one. So as you can see, I've actually used it on all these drum kits, on my old drums, because these are all percussions like drums, pegs and stuff. Sometimes I might use them on individuals, but on this particular one, I put it on all of them. So let's just hear it quickly in and out, and then we'll move to the next one. So as you can hear, this actually gave the old drums some nice transients and also more punch. So the second one on the list is Fresh Air by Slate Digital. Obviously, this plugin, I use it on literally everything because it ranges from snares to hi-hats to vocals. I use it more on vocal as well. And on this particular place, you can see I've used it on this pack, and I use it on so many other things, but let's listen to this pack with it and without. And the third one on the list is Stressor by Kiive Audio. This is obviously emulation of the Stressor NUKE, but I'm using it on a bass parallel. Let's have a listen to it in parallel. You can see that's the crush, and let's now add it to the original bass. Bearing in mind, I also had an EQ filter in the lows, and also I added some of the mid-range to actually, emphasize some of the notes on this particular bass. You notice once you put it on, it actually adds more weight to this bass. So this is one of the ways that I use this Stressor NUKE. I also use it on vocal parallel sometimes. Sometimes I also use it on drums parallel, but I almost reach out for it on bass if I feel like the bass is lacking, something. So the fourth plugin on the list is MAutopan by Melda Production. I like to reach out for this particular one, part of the free bundle, which gives you a lot of plugins. There are so many other plugins that I use on that bundle, but this is the one that I almost use on everything. So let's have a listen to how I've used it on this electric piano. You notice immediately adds some nice movement to this piano, making it more interesting instead of sounding very boring. So this is it, MAutopan by Melda Production. So the fifth plugin on this list is the one that I actually reach out for more now, which is this Studiorack by Waves. Obviously, it's not a plugin on its own, but it's a plugin that you use to achieve a lot more stuff. As you can see on this particular one, I'm actually using it to sidechain the kicks to this particular bass. I've done a multi-band split, which means I've actually split the band. So this is something that obviously you normally find hard to do, but with Studiorack, you can easily do it. So I've basically, split this band into 3. Everything from 120 to 20 hertz is here, 20 hertz and below is here. But I've put this compressor compressing everything between 20 hertz and 120 hertz, which is basically listening to the kick as the sidechain. So which means every time the kick hits, this compressor will dock between 20 hertz and 120 hertz, creating that pocket for the kick. Well, I used to use just a general compressor to do it, but the problem is if you do it that way, every time the kick hits, it pulls down everything on the bass. But this one, I'm only able to pull just that 120 and 20 hertz, the upper frequencies from 121 and above, and anything below 20 hertz, which is usually none anyway, but at least everything above 120 hertz is not touched. They will still be on the same volume, making you, not notice that something is happening. Whereas if I put it directly, you notice that the bass is being docked. You feel more of a pumping movement. Let's have a listen to it. So let me go ahead and bypass the kick. You see that the compressor will stop. So this is basically able to achieve this quickly with this Studiorack. That's why this is one of the indispensable plugin as well. And when I actually started using it more is when they incorporated third-party plugins. Because before you were only able to use only Waves plugins, but since they allowed the use of third-party plugins, as you can see, this is Neutron that I'm using in it from iZotope. Then is when I started digging the power of this more. So you can do a lot of things. Really check it out. So the last one on this list, which is plugin that I used to use every day, but now I'm not quite using it much like before, is the TDR Nova. So TDR Nova is the plugin that I used to use every time because this is the only free dynamic EQ plugin out there, and it's really good. But I'm not using it quite as I used to before since I acquired the Waves F6. And reason why I actually got Waves F6 is the fact that it does mid-side, but this one doesn't do mid-side on the bands. I'm sure obviously if you go for the Gentleman edition, you might have that option, but because I already got so many Waves plugins, so it was easier to just, add that to my plugin collection. But I still reach out for this now and again when I want just dynamic EQ without requiring much of mid-side and stuff. But every other thing, this does it. So this is the next on the list that I also find myself using now and again. But the other 5, I use it on every mix that I do. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you found it helpful, please hit that super thanks. That does help the channel. And also, if you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to get notified when I post new content. Also, keep an eye on the community where I'll be asking what video tutorial would you like to see next on the channel. Until next time, bye now.